Hello and welcome to the second session of the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships. I'm Erasm Ivant, joined by Alexandre Nodin. Hello, Alex.
Hello again.
How are we feeling in the evening? We've had an exciting morning session.
I'm still feeling great. I'm really interested in looking at those 66s and the SOI.
Yes, we're gonna have the Special Olympics flight right after the men's 66 kilo juniors. It's gonna be an interesting session. I can't wait for it. Here we have the nominated sub-junior squats.
Once again, interesting range of openers from 147.5 to 220. But the favorite of the day, not having the biggest opener in the squat event.
Yeah, just looking at the biggest opener here, 220 kilos, that is 18 and a half kilos under the world sub-junior record and just 6 kilos under the European sub-junior record. So if everything goes to plan for these lifters, I think we're gonna see a couple records, or at least
Hopefully.
attempts.
Hopefully. And the thing is, it's a long group for them. 13 lifters, lots of rest. Could be helpful in the squat and in the deadlift, not so much in the bench press event.
Yeah, a long group is a double-edged sword. Of course, you get more time to rest, but also you can cool down too much in between attempts. And we already have our first competitor out, Max Lee of Ireland, going for 147.5.
Nice and smooth. 3 white lights.
Talking about a long group, as a coach, how do you manage when your lifters start getting cooled down in between attempts? Do you just deal with it, or do you have them run laps around the warm-up room?
You know what? I've seen like coaches and lifters go for some cluster sets when it's way too long. This is not something I would advise for. I would say get used to it while training because the timetable is published in advance, so you know the conditions you'll have to face on meet day. So adapt beforehand.
Next lifter up is Valtteri Kivimaki of Finland, opening at 165.
That left knee was shaking while presenting the bar.
It's 3 white lights nonetheless. He's on the board. Maybe it was nerves.
Look at the knees, a bit shaky.
Might be the nerves. I sometimes have gotten soft legs on the first squat. That's why it's important to open with something you are very sure you can do.
Absolutely. Chief referee stepping in just to make sure everything's good with the rack. Lifters have a choice to make whether they want the rack to be inner or outside. It depends, it's up to personal preferences.
Yeah, in certain cases, you usually see that with the bigger lifters. So they can grab the bar at the very ends. But of course, everyone can do it. This is Benedek Viertel of Hungary, opening at 165.
And so only one of the arms of the rack is now inside. Usually the lifters that do that is because they walk out very aggressively, and so the weight don't clip the rack. Nice and smooth.
3 white lights for the Hungarian. Akos Schwalm of Hungary, 170 kilos on the bar. 12 and a half below his personal best last year as a junior. A 2-to-1 good lift, a blue light from the center.
I think it might be for lack of presentation here. That right knee was not properly locked out.
I would agree, the knees were probably not fully extended at the top. We'll see if the jury says anything about it. They are talking to the chief referee.
Yeah, that's what the chief referee seems to be signaling. Soft knees before starting, but he had to give the command because both side referees put their arm down.
That is correct. Next up on the platform, Daniel Hampejs of Czechia, 175.
That's a very low rack for a guy of his frame.
Oh, he does have a very low bar positioning.
So it's a bit too low for comfort.
Yeah, 3 white lights is a good lift.
The thing is, when a lifter re-racks, you don't want him to go above the rack, so I would increase maybe the rack just by 1 pin.
And also, when he's unracking the bar, he's doing unnecessary work by lifting the bar, by standing up with the bar further up.
Agreed.
177 on the bar for the next competitor, Daniel Dahan of Israel. Unfortunately, 2 red lights for depth from both side referees.
Yeah, worrying sight because usually when both side referees agree that it was not deep enough, the jury doesn't intervene.
I don't think he's lacking that much, but I do agree with the side referees. We'll see what the jury says.
They think it's a good lift apparently. Yeah, they've overruled to a good lift. That's
Well,
very rare that we actually see that.
it's not often when both side referees give a red light. 180 kilos on the bar for Alejandro Cruz Camillo of Spain. One of the favorites for the title here. He was nominated in second.
I'm not surprised. 3 white lights. I've seen him compete before. He's a very reliable lifter.
And very safe opener, 180 kilos, 27 and a half below his personal best. I think we can see some bigger jumps from him.
Yeah, for sure. But usually I would advise for bigger jumps in a small flight, opening low and going aggressively. But with such long periods of rest in between attempts, I would have been maybe opening miles above that. Maybe 10, 12 above that.
Marcos Rodriguez Castro, his compatriot, up next at 185.
Another smooth opener.
A red light from the left side referee. We're gonna see a replay from the right side, so that's where he gets the white light from.
Yeah, that does seem wide from that angle, but keep in mind, it's very possible for one hip to be higher up than the other.
185 stays on the bar for Barak Berman of Israel. Three white lights, a comfortable opening attempt. One opening attempt more at 185 for Benjamin Avetum. Also nominated close to the top. That will definitely be battling for podium positions.
Interesting opener. It did look borderline from the front.
We're gonna have to see the side angle. Usually where the side referees agree that the depth was adequate. It's rare to see overturns on that, but sometimes you can.
Yeah.
And this was definitely on the line.
Yeah, I think I agree with the front ref, but refs on the platform are much closer than we are, and even closer than the cameras, so...
Three opening attempts remaining, and we're jumping up in weight to 202.5 for Alfie Bonsall, Great Britain. He was nominated in first overall, currently projected fourth, but of course an entire competition to play out here. Three white lights, a solid opening attempt.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at the forecasted totals here. It's either the Italian Gabriele Carlone is flying too close to the sun, or is been making some impressive progress in the gym. Maybe a bit of both.
We'll see now, 207.5 for Gabriel Carlone. His opening attempt, already a 2.5 kilo personal best.
That's a lovely opener. Three white lights.
Very comfortable, and
This is above his nominated squat. He was nominated with 205. He's already on 207.5 with a lot of room for improvement.
It's looking like he'll be the favorite to take it home.
We'll see.
We'll see. 1 squat opening attempt remaining, and it's a big one. 220 kilos on the bar for Daniel Pan Arenas of Sweden. 6 kilos off the European and 18.5 kilos off the world sub-junior squat records. This goes well. We're definitely gonna see him try to improve upon those.
It doesn't look like an opener to me. It looks more like a second, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's not the easiest. I can see 6.5 kilos to go for the European
Oh yeah,
record,
of
but the world
course.
might be a bit of a stretch.
And I don't see anything wrong, like no missed grooves or anything. It didn't seem nervous. So I think he's going to go for maybe a bit more than the European record on the second. And then we'll see how much he has in store. But I think the world record is a bit too far.
We'll have to wait and see all the competitors on the board with a successful squat as we go into round 2. And we are starting off with Max Lee, 162.5 on the bar, a 15 kilo jump. Three white lights and he's going strong.
And the bar is loaded.
172.5 on the bar for Benedek Viertel of Hungary.
Hmm.
2-1, a red light from the right side referee. We're gonna see from their angle.
Do you think that replay does him justice?
To be honest, the black of the singlet and the black of the spotter's clothes behind kind of blends together, so it's hard to see the exact point of the hip crease, but it was definitely on the limit. Valtteri Kivimäki of Finland going for 175.
One thing to know is that for this competition, this whole championship, the jury table is right in front of us, so we have a good view as to what they're discussing, what they're looking at, and they seem to be satisfied with that previous squat. That's going to be 2-1, a good lift. One blue from the right hand side ref. So that could be for lack of presentation or downwards movement. He clipped the rack, but I don't think the bar dipped. Jury's still looking at it though. Discussions have ended. The lift will stand. We move on, Razim.
And we move on to Akos Schwalm of Hungary, 180 kilos on the bar, 2.5 below his personal best.
Three white lights, a good lift.
Daniel Hampes of Czechia, 185 on the bar.
10 kilo jump for a 2.5 kg personal best.
Three white lights, a good lift. Considering that he squats with a super low bar position, he's not as bent forward as you'd expect.
That is true actually, but it's also a game of leverages. If you had like short femurs, long fibulas, it could look different.
Daniel Dahan of Israel, 187.5 on the bar. Quite a fight there. Not how you want the second attempt to move. It's a 2-to-1 good lift with a red light from the left side referee. We're going to see from the right side referee's perspective. Looks just about okay.
Yeah, it does look okay, and then he maintained his position all throughout the lift, never dipped.
Alejandro Cruz Camilla of Spain, 192.5 on the bar. Three white lights and a good lift.
The thing is, he squatted 207.5 before, so maybe he sustained an injury and he's just coming back from it, because he seems to be very satisfied with that squat.
Well, that was a 12.5 kilo jump. Another jump like that gives him 205. Maybe he goes somewhere in that vicinity. Perhaps just not in the top form today. We'll wait and see. Marcos Rodriguez Castro up next at 195.
No doubts about depth on this one.
Benjamin Aftum, Great Britain, going for 195. Significantly below his personal best.
Personal best that he hit in Costa Rica for Junior Worlds.
Well, does look appropriate for a second attempt. A depth hold from the center referee.
Once again, I think I kind of agree with the chief ref here. But once again, I think, oh, they're still discussing it in the jury. A few head nods. They don't seem to come to an agreement, and they'll need to be unanimous to intervene.
197.5 on the bar for Barak Berman of Israel. This will be a 10 kilo personal best for him. white lights.
Maybe a small technical mishap on the way up. Yeah, he almost fell forward.
Yeah, good job for catching that. A lot of people would have quit. 215 on the bar for Gabriel Carlona, smashing his personal best in the squat in this competition and looking really strong to take the title home.
Still very smooth out of him. 3 white lights, some solid lifting.
It very much looks like a second attempt.
Yeah, he's already 10 kgs above his nominated squat. Looking extra strong here.
217.5 on the bar for Alfie Bonso. 2.5 below his personal best.
Great control.
3 white lights.
His nominated squat is 220. I think he could be pacing for a bit more, 222 to 25.
I think he can definitely afford more than a 2.5 kilo jump from that second. But for the final second attempt of the 66 kilo sub juniors, we are gonna have an attempt at a European record. We kind of predicted that one, 227 kilos on the bar for Daniel Pan Arenas of Sweden.
You know what? In that case, I might have opened slightly lighter or lower because only jumping 7 is not a lot in the squat event.
We're gonna see how it moves. The 220 was not.
Yeah, maybe
Easy.
they lowered their planned second. We don't know. Looks slightly more difficult.
That is a 2-to-1 good lift, a yellow light from the right side referee. We're gonna take a look at the replay, see what that could be for.
I didn't see him skip a beat.
Oh, he didn't change footing or any other technical error that would result
Yeah,
in a yellow
we'll
light.
see.
So I believe we have a new European squat record. The world record is another 11.5 kilos up the road. We'll see how far he can push it. But he also has to think of the overall picture. He's in the game for a medal and perhaps the title, so needs to plan accordingly. Starting off round 3, we have Max Lee of Ireland, 167.5 on the bar.
Nice and solid. Third attempt. 3 white lights.
Yeah, seem to be pretty much the top end. Valtteri Kivimäki of Finland, 180 kilos on the bar. Matches his personal best. And it's a 2-to-1, good lift.
A red from the front for lack of depth. Looks much better from the sides.
Certain builds, certain squatting styles can make it deceiving i- in terms of depth, either from the front or from the sides. Make it hard to see. Benedek Viertel of Hungary going for 180 kilos, 7.5 kilo personal best.
And it's a good lift.
2 to 1 good lift. We're gonna see the perspective from which he gets the red light from.
Cost Schwab will now score 185 kilos. This is last attempt on squat, and the bar is loaded. Akos can go. Come on, man, it's all yours. Come on.
Akos Schwalm of Hungary, 5 kilo jump to 185.
Come on. The lights. It's a good lift.
2 to 1, a good lift. Another red from the front. Once again, I think I agree.
Yeah, that did seem pretty much on the line, could go either way. 190 for Daniel Dahan of Israel. We'll see if he comes out. There's a 2.5 kilo jump from the second, which was very heavy.
Yeah, maybe it's just a placeholder for the other guys to get some rest. Yep, looks like it's time for us to thank some of our sponsors, Razim.
That is correct, and we have a very nice view of their logos here. Our sponsors, of course, being Maniac Fitness, SBD, ESN Elite Sports Nutrition, and Visit Malta.
And you know what? Each podium finisher in the class will receive some gifts from our sponsor ESN.
I have tried their sample protein bags and they have been delicious.
You should try the iced tea one. It's lovely.
195 kilos for Daniel Hopes from Czechia.
No lift for the Israeli. 192.5 on the bar for Daniel Hampes of Czechia. This will be a 7.5 kilo personal best for the Czech. Three white lights and a good lift.
And the bar is loaded. Yes. Come on, man, let's go.
200 kilos on the bar for Alejandro Cruz Camillo.
Good luck to this bump before the third attempt. Love to see that.
Oh, and it's quite a fight. finishes with a big scream and his 3 white lights a good lift.
It's got 205 kilos as the last attempt on the squat. The bar is loaded. Marcos gets the 205 kilos.
6 lifts remaining in the 66 kilo sub-junior squats. 205 on the bar for Marcos Rodriguez Castro of Spain. 10 kilo personal best for the Spaniard. Again, right about on the limit. 2-1 good lift with a yellow from the right side referee.
Berman from Israel, and the bar is loaded with 205 kilos.
Not quite sure what the yellow could have been for. 205 on the bar for Barak Berman of Israel. Fourth, fifth, and sixth placed man on squats, really close together. Another fight. 3 white lights and a good lift for the Israeli. Another 205 will be on the bar, and then the podium, about 15 minutes driving up the road, will be our top 3 battling it out for squat, gold, silver, and bronze. Benjamin Aftum going for 205 first, before we go into the medal decider. Great looking third attempt, a red from the center referee once again. Seems to be okay. And now, final 3 lifts remaining is to decide the squat medal positions. First will be Gabriel Carlone of Italy, 222.5, goes from squat bronze to squat silver provisionally. Will be a big personal best for him and give him a great shot at the overall title. And it's a beautiful looking third attempt. 3 white lights for the Italian. Massive improvement. And he's in provisional squat silver. But we have 2 attempts remaining. Alfie Bonsal and Daniel Pan Arenas. They will both be going for the European record. 228 on the bar for Alfie Bonsal. Going for the European record. Provisional squat gold, guaranteed at least silver if he gets this. If he doesn't, he gets only bronze. And it's going up. He stands up. Let's wait for the lights. white lights. Elfie Bonso takes the European sub-junior squat record with 228. There is only one man who can take it away from him today. It is Daniel Pan Arenas of Sweden. 231 will be going on the bar to take back the squat gold medal and the European record he has broken on his second attempt. It's another great looking attempt. Let's wait for the lights. Unfortunately, a no lift, a blue and a yellow light. I'd wait and see what the jury says about that one. I did not see any obvious mistakes. But as it stands, Elfie Bonsal, the jury has overruled it. That means Daniel Pan Arenas will be taking home the squat gold with 231 and a new European record. Elfie Bonsal in silver with 228 and Gabriel Carlone with a massive improvement since the last competition with 222.5 takes the bronze. And now we're going into the Special Olympics division. We're gonna have 5 competitors, 3 Lithuanians, 2 from Ukraine, 3 different categories, 74, 66 and 83. Openers 60 and then 70, 70, 70, 70. First competitor out will be Pavlo Kost of Ukraine, 19 years of age, opening at 60 kilos. Have to say, very nice deep squat, no questions there about that, and he seems super happy about it. 3 white lights. We'll see how much more he can load up. Next up will be his Ukrainian teammate, Mikita Bilos, opening at 70 kilos. Oh, loses his balance towards the top a little bit, unfortunately, so that is going to be a no lift, but it was very easy for him. He still seems happy about it. $70 for the opening attempt of Aldas Laurinas of Lithuania. Super fast squat, bit of a bounce towards the top. Unfortunately, not deep enough. Not deep enough for Laurinas. 70 kilos on the bar for Jonas Viliunas of Lithuania, competing in the 84 kilo class, 83 kilo class, pardon me.
And it's looking like a friendly battle between Biliunas and Danielis in the 83s.
And 3 white lights, a good lift for Biliunas. Yeah, they're quite closely matched. Our final opening attempt, Mangirdas Danielis of Lithuania, 70 kilos on the bar.
Smooth enough.
3 white lights, no issues with depth whatsoever.
I'm curious to see what they will jump to, because maybe 70 was just to secure an attempt and then they'll try and get their best foot forward.
Yeah, we'll see. We're starting off the second round with Pavlo Kost of Ukraine, was successful at 60, jumping up to 65.
So since it's only 5 athletes in the flight, we'll be adding 1 extra minutes of rest as written in the rule book, because the shortest flight possible is 6.
That is correct, and we can take our time to once again thank our sponsors. Would you like to do the honors this time, Alex?
Yeah, I'm gonna thank Maniac Fitness, because all of the equipment you're seeing on the platform comes from them. From the collars to the plates to the combo rack, even the platform itself has been produced and refined by Maniac for athletes to be able to perform to the best of their abilities in a safe environment. So huge shout out to our sponsors, Maniac.
And that is timeout. We are starting with the second round. The extra time has run out, and 65 kilos is on the bar for Pavlo Kost of Ukraine.
This time, bar is loaded.
Apparently was the wrong right heights. So Pablo is going back to the warm-up room. No, he's staying with us. The clock has been reset. Now the bar is loaded. Super deep.
Super deep and a great second attempt. 3 white lights for Paolo, who secures a personal best.
With 1 more attempt to go too.
Nice goal. 70 kilos as a second. 10. Hopefully, this time, bar is loaded.
"70 kilos up next for Mikita Bilos of Ukraine. He's repeating his first attempt. Had some trouble with balance on his first try. Let's see if he can make it this time.
Was it balance while walking out or during the rep?
During the rep.
No troubles this time.
Much more sturdy. And he's rewarded with 3 white lights. He's on the board.
What can he jump to now? At least 80, right?
Well, would make sense. It seemed fairly easy for him.
I agree.
Aldas Laurinas will be up next, jumping 10 kilos up from his opening attempt. Missed it on a technicality. Feels like he's strong enough to do 80. Will be a 30 kilo competition personal best.
One can only dream of that. Improving by 30 kilos.
And it's three white lights. We have all of the athletes on the board, so now they can push.
And bar is slowly from Jonas Lunas.
Oh, the battle in the 83s is heating up. Jonas Biliūnas of Lithuania is jumping up to 80 kilos, and his teammate Danielis, who's competing with him for the 83 kilo victory, has jumped up to 90.
I think we're gonna see some yellows because he skipped the squat command.
It's a 2-to-1 with a yellow.
And I think the jury's gonna let that slide. Maybe perfectly timed his squat with the command. Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe he felt the command before he heard it.
Oh, some sort of telekinesis?
You never know.
Hmm.
90 kilos on the bar for Mangirdas Danielis.
That's a proper second attempt. Nicely done.
Yeah, very nice looking. Let's see if he can go for 100. That'd be a pretty big milestone.
And once again, we'll be adding 1 extra minute of time for those athletes to rest. And you know what? I think for the Lithuanian in this fight, it must feel so good having the opportunity to compete internationally, yet on home soil.
Absolutely. We see 3 Lithuanians in our Special Olympics flight, and I'm sure they are all very much enjoying it. Well, this time we do not go with the. Oh, we do.
We do.
Paolo was just too eager
Just a
to
bit
get
of
onto the
confusion. I
platform.
mean, yeah, Pablo is eager to compete. He wants to improve his mark by 5 kilos. Is a true athlete at heart.
Absolutely.
I mean, we love to see that. It's a blessing for us to be sent back to what's important, enjoying the competition in itself. Placings come second. If you don't enjoy the sport, why do you even do it?
Absolutely. It's great to see that these athletes are all so enthusiastic.
And the clock is ticking. In just 5 seconds, we'll be loading the 70 for Pavlo Kos from Ukraine. 5 kg jump for a new personal best on the European stage.
And he's right out on the platform. Very nice execution for a third attempt.
I love that.
Yeah, he's super happy.
We're not
Three-
seeing backflips, but we are seeing some sort of celebrations.
You know what? I think all lifters should have some sort of a signature celebration. Not too elaborate, not
true.
too elaborate, but some sort of a signature.
And I think we should run a poll on the EPF Instagram account to see who can guess how many backflips we're gonna see during this championship.
Oh, that'd be cool. 77.5 on the bar for Mikita Bilos of Ukraine. 7.5 kilo personal best for him. And looks to be no problem.
Yeah, yes. A lot of room, actually. Give him a 4th attempt. He's gonna load 90 minimum.
I absolutely would if it were up to me, but of course we have to adhere to the rules of the IPF.
Now 85 kilos. Bar is loaded.
85 kilos on the bar for Aldas Laurinas of Lithuania. 5 kilo jump from his second attempt. white lights and a good lift for the Lithuanian. And the two Lithuanians in the 83 are pushing each other hard. Jonas Biliūnas will be going for 100 kilos.
So do you believe it could come down to body weight to see who walks away with squat gold in the 83s?
Well, if they both make it, it could.
I think he's made it.
It's a 2-to-1 good lift. We'll see if the jury says anything about it.
The thing is, if this one passes, it's guaranteed gold because Danielis is heavier
Well,
than
that is also
Biliūnas.
true.
Yep, I think the lift will stand, so guaranteed gold for Biliūnas.
Mangirdas Danielis will be coming up next, also going for 100 kilos. He has the squat silver.
I mean, he received the command. He re-extended, received the command. Maybe he's gonna get whites. Yep.
It's a 2-to-1 good lift.
So both athletes of the 83s are scoring 100 kilos. It came down to body weight.
And yeah, and it's looking interesting. The athletes are making quite unpredictable jumps, so I am actually very much wondering who comes out on top in the 83s overall. But as it currently stands, we have Bilos taking the squat gold in the 66s, Laurinas taking the squat gold in the 74s, and Biliūnas taking gold on bodyweight in 83s. We'll see you back in about 9 minutes time. See you then. Hello and welcome back to snowy Druskininkai in Lithuania to the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships. We have the 66 kilo bench press and the Special Olympics bench press ahead of us, but to quickly recap, it was a tight battle on top of the 66 kilo squats, ultimately with a jury overrule 231 kilos for a new European record for Daniel Pan Arenas of Sweden taking squat gold, with Bonzel in second and Carlone in third. We are heading into the bench press, openers ranging from 92.5 all the way to 137.5 for Gabriel Carlone, who has made great progress since the last competition from the looks of it.
Oh yeah, he's very much looking to beat the odds and beat the nominations today.
We are starting off with 92.5 for Daniel Dahan of Israel. Three white lights, a good start to the bench press session. 100 kilos on the bar next for Valtteri Kivimäki of Finland. Three white lights and a good lift for the Finn. Same weight will stay on the bar.
That's a lot of chalk on his back, but this is to try and prevent himself from sliding on the bench.
Benedek Viertel of Hungary.
Not the softest touch you're gonna see, but still three white lights.
Daniel Hampes of Czechia up next at 107.5. This will already be a 5 kilo personal best for him. It's a 2-to-1 good lift, a red light from the center referee, so we're gonna take a look at that front angle replay.
And we've seen the few calls like that this morning. They were very precise with elbow depth, but I think it's gonna pass, right?
Yeah, the right elbow was significantly higher than the left one. I think it should be okay, but we'll see.
They don't seem to come to an agreement inside the jury. And the jury has finally overruled the previous lift, so that right elbow was not low enough.
That is unfortunate. 110 kilos from Max Lee of Ireland. Looks good, 3 white lights. And the progress is progressing. Akos Schwalm of Hungary, 115 kilos to match his personal best on the opening attempt.
I mean, these youngsters are progressing so quick.
2-1 good lift, a yellow from the center referee. Well, look at the replay. Be mindful of the head in particular.
I think it's the commands.
If it's the command, I'm afraid of an overrule, but the jury don't seem to be discussing it.
They've discussed it with the chief referee, but they don't seem to come to an agreement.
Right then. Your European squat record holder, Daniel Pan Arenas of Sweden, 117.5 on the bar.
And this is not his last outing as a sub-junior. He's 17 years old, so maybe he can break the world record next year.
Well on the way to do that. And well, his way towards the very top placings today. That is a fairly comfortable bench press opening attempt. Already a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Great British. Bar is reloaded.
120 kilos on the bar for Alfie Bonsall. Also one of the athletes looking to take a spot on the podium today. He was nominated in first.
Yeah, the thing is, he's now forecasted in fourth when he used to be nominated first.
That is a comfortable looking first attempt, 10 kilos below his personal best. Marcos Rodriguez Castro, España now, 122.5 on the bar. His personal best at 129.5, a Spanish record, I would presume.
Maybe not, because we have Alejandro Cruz Camilla from the same weight class who's benched 140.
Three white lights, a good lift.
Barcelona.
125 for Benjamin Avetum. Another one of the podium contenders today. Opening at his personal best. And that is three white lights for Avetum.
127.5 Israel.
No troubles with elbow depth there.
Three opening attempts remaining. First of them will be Barak Berman of Israel, 127.5. Not quite in the fight for the overall podium positions, but definitely looking to take a bench press medal today.
That's not something that happens often in raw bench press. It's something you would see more often in equipped.
Yeah, that loss of control of the bar definitely looked like something that would happen if he had a bench press shirt on.
Yeah, he lost his wrist positioning. That's what happened.
Very, very strange way to miss a bench. But he can have another go at it in the second round. 132.5 on the bar for Alejandro Cruz Camillo of Spain.
In this case, you really want to utilize the whole minute to both explain how you want your liftoff to be, ideally speaking, and then set up.
Not the easiest opener. Yellow lights. We'll take a look at the replay.
I think he racked early.
Yeah, I thought that it was a skipped command because I didn't see any outrageous technical infringement there.
Yeah, he just racked early.
That is unfortunate. That was not an easy opening attempt there.
Do you retake it or do you go for like 2.5, maybe 5?
I think I would retake it. Judging from how that moved, I wouldn't risk another few kilos there. Just secure it, then you can go up 2.5, 5 for a third. Our final opener, Gabriel Carlone of Italy, 137.5. 7.5 above his personal best. He's really made great progress.
That's 3 white lights, a good lift. So all but 3 lifters on the board. We're missing Berman, Cruz Camillo, and Ampage.
Yeah, Carlone is looking really good now to take a bench press gold medal. Another 5 kilos onto that 137.5, and I don't think anybody will be catching him today.
Yeah, he was nominated 4th. We were expecting him to apply pressure, but now he's very much in the lead, and he's haunted by the rest of the pack, being Panarandas, Poncel, and Avtum.
Yeah, and the rest of the pack is, to be honest, not that successful at hunting him. He's running away. Starting off round 2, we have Daniel Dahan, 97.5 on the bar. Three white lights and a good lift. $105 on the bar for Benedikt Viertel of Hungary.
That's a dip. Great catch by the spotters.
Absolutely. I think the bar just started to go towards his head. Lost control there through the middle portion of the lift.
So do you think it was a case of technique and he just pushed in the wrong direction, or was it a case of strength?
I think it was more of a technical issue here. You can really see the bar moving too much towards his head, and of course when it does that, you just lose your positioning, you lose the balance. And it's hard to make a skull crusher movement with 105 kilos. 107.5 on the bar for Valtteri Kivimaki.
That's 2 to 1, a good lift. 1 yellow from the chief ref. So that would be either for the head lifting off the bench, the glutes lifting off the bench, the feet, or the commands.
Oh, the feet and the glutes are planted, so I think is the head.
I think it was the command because it was a very short press command. Maybe he played the game and met the command. That's why the laterals did not pick it up live.
That can happen sometimes, but it's a dangerous game to play. 107.5 going for a second time for Daniel Hampes of Czechia. I believe he had depth issues on the previous lift. This time there's a red from the side referee.
So difficult to judge depth on the sides.
And we'll see on this replay. Really hard to say. $120 for Akos Schwalm. Two to one, good lift. Another yellow from the from the center referee. At this point, I dare presume it was a skipped command once again.
120 kilos.
I don't know.
An eternal mystery of the yellow light. 120 kilos on the bar for Max Lee.
Three white lights from Max Lee.
Daniel Pan Arenas, 125 on the bar. Big personal best for him and very important in the fight for the podium spots.
Are we gonna see some yellow again? No. Three white lights. Solid lifting here.
$127.5 kilos.
127.5 on the bar for Marcos Rodriguez Castro.
Big sink. Very explosive off the chest, and he keeps this momentum going until he locks it out. Three white lights.
A very efficient sink.
And I'm gonna be honest, it's difficult to sink on a stiffer bench pad. This one grips, but it is very stiff, so nicely executed.
It's really easy to lose the elbows and shoulder blades positioning if you sink uncontrollably on a stiffer pad. But he does it very well, and already on the platform is Alfie Bonsel, 127.5. A nice technical, soft touch, three white lights.
Israel with 127.5 kilos.
127.5, going for a second time for Barak Berman of Israel. Unsuccessful on his first try.
Yeah, last time around, he just lost it on his way down. It just couldn't maintain the weight and the correct bar pass. Just completely collapsed.
Yeah, very strange way to miss a bench press in raw bench. And it's gonna be a problem because he doesn't feel how the weight is on the way up. Let's hope he can make it on his second try.
It looks very different, that's for sure.
It's a 2-1 this time with a
Uh-oh.
yellow from the side, which is concerning.
Yeah, yellows from the side are usually signs of problems. How about the glutes on the way up?
Huh? The glutes
Oh.
look okay.
Yeah, maybe it's for the heels lifting off the floor.
I saw some movement, but I didn't see like an egregious lift there. We'll see what the jury says. Of course, all three members of the jury have to agree, in order to overturn the lift. So even if two jurors think one way, the lift will not be overturned. Benjamin Aftum, 130 kilos. A fairly comfortable second attempt for the Brit. Two attempts remaining in round two. And we have the last competitor without a bench press on the board, Alejandro Cruz Camilo. 132.5, going for a second time.
Yeah, he just re-racked early at the top last time.
Technical issue or command issue. He can definitely fix that. But the first 132.5 was not that easy, so I hope he has the energy.
That's much better.
This looks a lot better. There's definitely space to grow there.
Now what do? Do you go for the planned second? Do you go for the planned third and make a big jump? Or do you end up somewhere in between?
This moved well, but not that well that I would go straight to the planned third. I would go somewhere in between, maybe closer to planned third than the planned second, but of course depends on what the planned third and second were.
I think he was hoping for a personal best, so maybe just matching his personal best of 140 would make sense, or slightly less, just jumping 5 to 137.5.
That would make sense, and 140 would give him a bench press silver medal, so 142.5 for Gabriel Carlone.
Wow. How about that? It still looks very easy, very comfortable. 3 white lights for the Italian. He's pulling away, Razi.
Yeah, he's looking like he's sweeping up the competition. The battle for the podium spots will probably be fairly tight, but Carlone might become unreachable by the time we get to the second and third deadlifts. So, as it currently stands, Carlone holds the bench press gold provisionally, with Cruz Camilo in silver and Aftum in bronze, but we have one more round to go and things are subject to change. We're starting off with Daniel Dahan, 100 kilos to match his personal best. Oh, big fight, but just too heavy.
I mean, statistically, we're bound to see a lot of that. And it's not as bad missing your third, bench instead of missing your third squat or third deadlifts. It's smaller
Absolutely.
jumps.
Yes, and in this case it was a 2.5 kilo jump, so basically leaving nothing on the platform. 105 on the bar for Benedict Viertel. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Hungary. Now it's time for Czechia. Daniel Humphreys with 112.5 kilos on the bar. And the bar is loaded for Daniel Humphreys.
112.5 on the bar for Daniel Humphreys of Czechia. 107.5 past the depth on the second try.
How about the elbows?
This time it's a red and 2 yellows from the sides. That cannot be overturned, unfortunately.
150 kilos. Raul Berry. Bar is loaded.
I'm not sure the glutes were up in the air, but I saw some movement, I saw some lights, but not clear lifting. But he had also an elbow depth call, so he was in trouble.
115 on the bar for Valtteri Kivimaki.
Difficult one. His elbows reopened way too aggressively. He was not able to push.
Perhaps just too ambitious of a jump.
122.5 kilos. And the bar is loaded.
Akos Schwan jumping 2.5 kilos. Seems an appropriate jump.
Two to one, a good lift. Still one yellow from the chief ref.
Same weight and the bar is loaded. Max Lee from Ireland.
I'm really not quite sure what that's for. He definitely moves his head, but I believe it stays in contact with the pad, so...
Yeah, I'm
would
seeing
know.
the same thing.
122.5 on the bar for Max Lee. Oh, and it's a big fight for the Irishman.
That's a grind if I've ever seen one. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Great battle for Max.
Sweden. 127.5 kilos. Bar is loaded. On
Daniel Pan Arenas of Sweden coming up next. 127.5 on the bar. Opting to take the minimal jump. Playing it somewhat safe here, but every kilo will count in the podium battle.
I mean, a well-rounded 6 for 6 for him would be great.
Absolutely.
A new European record, 6 for 6, great momentum going into deadlifts.
Absolutely. Yeah, the 2.5 was the right call here, I think. 5 would have been quite risky.
Yep, I agree. Probably would have been too much.
Bar is loaded.
6 lifts remaining to decide our bench press podium finishers. First will be Alfie Bonsall of Great Britain, 130 kilos, to jump into bench press bronze for the time being. 3 white lights, and I'd say another very appropriate 2.5 kilo jump.
Now bench 130 kilos. Paris rolling. It's time for you, Barak. You can do it.
130 kilos for a bronze bench press medal attempt for Barak Berman of Israel. Managed 127.5, but it was not very easy.
Yeah, from opening to on 127.5, missing it, correcting in the second round, attempting 130. I think he just opened too heavy.
Might be the case, we'll see how the 130 moves. Well, 130 goes up, it's 3 white lights, he's into bench press podium for the time being.
Yeah, that's a match personal best for him,
Yeah.
but not much left in the tank. And I mean, when you're good for like 130, 132 maximum, why do you open on 127.5?
Yeah, you open 120, 122 maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
132.5 for a bench press bronze attempt for Marcos Rodriguez Castro. Will be a 3 kilo personal best.
Perfect number.
A blue and a yellow, unfortunately. We're gonna see the side replay.
I haven't seen the blue live, but maybe the glutes lifted while he synced. I don't think so.
I think the glutes were in contact.
So maybe the heels once again, but it's too light for it to be a signal, I think.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. The coach is at the jury table and the jury are discussing it. Meanwhile, we have Benjamin Avetum going for 135. This is for provisional bench press silver.
I think one of the jury members wants to know what the side referee that signal blue saw during the movement.
And it's a good lift.
3 white lights for Benjamin Avetum.
I think it was for a downwards movement on the left hand side, which I didn't pick up live. It just almost paused while transitioning from the sink to extending the elbows. On the other side, it was a yellow, so we're gonna know if it was for glutes or for the commands or anything of that sort.
Not quite sure, but we have another attempt at the bench press silver for Alejandro Cruz Camilo, 137.5.
That's one long jury discussion. Coach is sent away. We're not sure of the decision though. He went for 137.5. Not going for his personal best was the correct decision. That's 3 white lights.
And he grabs the bench press silver medal. I think he's unfortunately too far away from the podium fight either way.
Yeah,
So might as well secure the most medals he can in single lifts.
absolutely.
And we have one more bench press remaining. Gabriele Carlone of Italy, 147.5. He came into the competition with a personal best of 130, so this will be a 17.5 kilo improvement. And he already has the bench press gold medal. He's already in a sizable lead in the overall standings. This 5 kilos would go a long way to further extend his lead, really make him nigh untouchable on deadlifts. Oh, and it's a great effort, but the bar just dips through the middle portion of the lift and unfortunately unsuccessful. He still has a quite a good lead of 14 kilos on prognosis. Takes home the bench press gold, but unfortunately unsuccessful on his third try. So as I said, Carlone takes home the bench press gold with 142.5, with Cruz Camilo in 137.5 in silver, and Benjamin Aftum with 135 in bronze. We'll be heading straight into the Special Olympics bench press. Once again, we have 5 competitors, openers from 50 to 65 kilos, and we'll be starting off with Aldas Laurinas of Lithuania, opening at 50.
And once again, in between the first and second and third, we'll add 1 minute of extra rest for the lifters. We need 6 minutes. There we go, bars loaded.
And a very easy opening attempt for Laurinas.
Bar is loaded, 50 kilos on the bar.
Next up will be Mangirdas Danielis of Lithuania. He's in a tight fight in the 83s with his teammate.
Pretty smooth.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Jonas Williams, between 55 kilos on the bar.
Now let's see how Jonas Biliunas will answer. He's going for 55 kilos, a 5 kilo personal best on his opening attempt.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah, 2 to 1 good lift. Secures a 5 kilo personal best.
The bar is loaded for Nikita.
65 kilos now for Mikita Bilos of Ukraine.
Hope he's gonna bring the same level of excitement to the platform. Now he's a bit more focused. First attempt of the bench press. Calm, collected, poised.
Yeah, bench press is a much more technical lift.
I mean, 3 commands. That's a lot.
Yeah, very complex. Need to be focused, and you can be excited afterwards.
A lovely opener. 3 white lights.
Very well executed. Listens to the commands.
Outstand from our coach from Ukraine. And the bar is loaded.
Our final bench press opener, Pavlo Kost of Ukraine. 65 kilos for a 5 kilo personal best. Another very comfortable opening attempt. 3 white lights and a good lift.
It already closes out the first round. So everyone has scored the opener. We'll be adding 1 minute of extra time for the lifters to rest. Discussions happening between one of our jury members and the spotters. I don't know what could have been that topic of discussions. Surely the great performances of our athletes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Great performances, great energy. Although I think there's been a mistake at the
Yeah.
attempt
On the
changes.
scoreboard, yeah, because you cannot go from 65 to 60. Yeah, you're right.
It
But
wouldn't make sense. Ah,
it's been corrected.
it's 67.5.
But if anyone watching the live stream was in doubt as to whether or not they should get starting with their powerlifting journey, I think those athletes are a true testament to the fact that you 100% should.
Absolutely. Just to see how much they're enjoying it, what sort of passion they bring to the platform, into this sports hall here. It's just
Powerlifting is
great to
good for
see.
your health, it's good for your mentals, it's good for pretty much everything. And it's good for the one-way trip to groceries. It's good for everything.
Very useful in real life. Mangirdas Danielis of Lithuania jumping 2.5 kilos to 52.5. This will be a 2.5 kilo personal best. Has a slight mishap on the way down, but still manages to press the bar up, gets the 3 white lights. A great job on that recovery. 60 kilos on the bar now for Aldas Laurinas. Yeah, 3 white lights. Strong second attempt. And we have Jonas Biliunas on the platform, jumping 5 kilos up to 60.
He stayed in control the whole time. Great pause at the bottom. Super clean.
Really nicely executed.
Bars loaded.
67.5 kilos on the bar for Mikita Bilos of Ukraine.
I mean, we're above body weight for Mikita.
Three white lights and a good lift.
Bars loaded.
And for the heaviest bench press attempt so far, 70 kilos on the bar for Pavlo Kost of Ukraine. Three white lights, a good lift. He's trying to close up to Laurinas.
So in the meantime, I'll tell you not total focus then, which provides high quality videos, high quality photos. Anything you want,
You know what,
just go
Razi?
ahead, ask.
I think Honza on the mic is right. We need to utilize this minute to talk about our partners on this championship. Total focus. Mr. Joe here has been taking pictures and videos of each and every lifter of the championship. If you want some great pictures for your grandmas at home or a nice and sweet Instagram reel, a quick recap of your performances, get in touch with our boy Joe at Total Focus. Look at him. What a handsome guy.
Yeah, he's right at the entrance to the competition hall. You cannot miss him. Big sign says order your media here.
Time's up. We move straight into the third round of bench press.
Now this is interesting. We're seeing some more conservative jumps and some very big jumps here.
Looks like it's not gonna come down to body weight this time in the 83s.
And we're starting off with 62.5 on the bar for Aldas Laurinas of Lithuania.
Strong enough for it.
3 white lights, and I say a bit too strong. He almost jumped off the bench with the force he was producing towards the top.
Almost got up with the bar. Went for a clean press.
And the bar is loaded.
Next up on the platform, Jonas Biliunas, 65 kilos on the bar. Big effort from Jonas, and he manages it. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Three more bench presses to go, one in each weight class, 66s, 74s and 83s.
And each jump is gonna be bigger. We're gonna have Nikita Bilos first of Ukraine, jumping 2.5 from 67.5 to 70 for another personal best. Oh, it's a big effort from Nikita. Unfortunately, a little too heavy for him today.
It happens.
It happens.
I
He
think
gave it a good
it's
go.
it's his first miss of the day, right? Maybe his second, maybe he missed his first squat, but managed to recover.
I think he missed his first squat, but managed to recover very well.
And here that was a case of strength. He went for the smallest jump possible, no regrets.
And now for a very big jump, Mangirdas Danielis of Lithuania jumping 17.5 kilos all the way to 70. This is to close right up to Biliunas in the projected total.
That's the jump Jesus Olivares would take.
And he handles it very well. 3 white lights and a good lift for the Lithuanian. It's going to be an exciting battle for the victory in the 83s.
Yup.
Bar is loaded and now plus from bench 77.5 kilos. Come on, man.
Our final bench press of today. Pavlo Kost of Ukraine, 7.5 kilo jump to 77.5 kilos.
Come on, come on, come on. Nice.
3 white lights and a great finish to the day. Kost takes the bench press gold in the 74s.
Awesome.
Bilos takes the gold in the 66s. And Danielis with a huge jump takes the bench press gold in the 83s, making the battle for the victory in the 83s.
Yeah, they're keeping us
Really,
on our
really
toes.
close. We're gonna see how things are decided, how they play out in the deadlifts in about 9 minutes time. See you then. Hello and welcome back to Snowy Druskininkai, Lithuania for the 2025 European Sub-Junior and Junior Classic Powerlifting Championships presented by Maniac Fitness. We are into the final session of the day. We have deadlifts ahead of us in the 66 kilo class. On subtotals, currently in the lead, Gabriele Carlone of Italy with Daniel Panarenas in second and Elfie Bonsel in third. Things are, of course, subject to change as we head into deadlifts. It's going to be an interesting decider. What are your predictions, Alex?
My predictions are that it might not come down to the last deadlift if Mr. Carlone is on. Because it didn't change his opener, it's still 240 kilos, which means he's standing his ground.
He's standing his ground, and to be honest, the 240 kilos is the only lift he's opening below his personal best. 5 kilos below, but still below. And we already have our first competitor on the platform, Akos Schwalm of Hungary, 185 on the bar.
Nice and easy, 3 white lights.
Next up will be Max Lee from Poland with 187.5 kilos. Bar is loaded.
Max Lee up next on the platform, 187.5 for the Irishman. Quite a bit below his deadlift PB. Nice and easy opener. I think we can expect some bigger jumps from him.
And the bar is loaded.
Barak Berman now, 195.
Semi-sumo, frog stance, however you want to call it.
3 white lights. I like that sort of stance. I tried it, didn't work for me, but
Nothing works on you, Razi.
that's true. You have looked through my open IPF profile, so you know.
We know the truth. We know who you are behind the microphone.
$210 kilos on the bar for Daniel Hampejs of Czechia.
Slams the bar down. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Hungary with 210. Bar is loaded.
$210 on the bar for Benedek Viertel. And that is a 2-to-1 good lift. Yellow from the center, I presume would be for a skipped command, but I
I can't see anything else that would be. It didn't drop the bar, it didn't step, so nothing else really.
no, I don't know. It didn't seem to me that he started lowering the bar too early, but of course the chief referee is the one giving the command, so he probably knows best. We'll see if the jury has a say about it. And on the platform we have 15 kilos and Daniel Dahan. Three white lights and a good lift. $220 on the bar for Valtteri Kivimaki. And that is another three white lights, another good lift.
And bar is loaded. 220 kilos.
Sort of a jumping setup for Alejandro Cruz Camilo, going for 220.
And with Rodriguez Castro bumping up his first attempt, Cruz Camilo is now forecasted in 6th, not in 5th anymore.
Good first attempt. Do you think he's making himself a disservice by jumping so the baby powder falls down his legs and then walking through it?
Somehow, but I think there's still plenty on his thighs.
225 on the bar for Alfie Bonsall of Great Britain. Definitely one of the podium contenders. But he's gonna have to make up ground. Three white lights and solid enough for an opening attempt.
Yeah, arguably the easiest opener so far. And we know a conventional pull can get grindy.
Bar is loaded.
232.5 on the bar for Daniel Pan Arenas. Solid enough first attempt, very minimal amount of baby powder on his legs.
Yeah, he's establishing himself as a very strong podium contender.
Absolutely, we're currently at 591. Will be in second after the first round finishes if everyone makes their lifts. And he'll be in a solid enough position to stay there. 240 on the bar for Marcos Rodriguez Castro.
That was a very solid deadlift opener. Keep an eye on him for deadlift medals.
That needs to be clean for Gabriel Carolina. Italy, he will lift 240 kilos.
Now for our definitive favorite for the win, if this moves well, Gabriel Carlone of Italy, going for 240 kilos. The only lift he's opening below his personal best. 5 kilos below, but still below. And that is an easy enough opener.
How about the lights on this one? We're missing the left-hand side referee. A bit of suspense. Maybe the flags are gonna get thrown up in the air.
And
Nope.
that is 3 white lights for the Italian.
He literally just stands up with it.
I've seen that sort of technique from a couple of Italians. I remember in Costa Rica at the Junior Worlds, I've seen a couple of them do
Yeah.
this sort of technique. Never seen it from any other nation, so must be an Italian thing. Our final opening attempt, Benjamin Avetoon, 245, a kilo below his personal best. Oh, pretty easy.
Very easy, actually. 3 white lights.
Second round of Deadlift. Goes Schwan from Hungary. With 200 kilos.
And going into round two, Carlone is in a pretty significant lead overall, but not completely uncatchable if anything should go wrong for him. Some of the competitors behind him have gone for bigger jumps, so they will be closing up somewhat. But the battle for the bottom two steps of the podium definitely very much on. 200 kilos for Akos Schwalm. 3 white lights and a solid second attempt there for the Hungarian.
And the bar is loaded for Max Lee from Ireland with 200. First up, just bar is taking the lead now, and then we will be ready for Max Lee from Ireland. The bar is 200 kilos.
Max Lee is up next at 200 kilos. A big jump as we've expected from him. His personal best being 219, and the coaches have asked for the bar to be cleaned.
Somewhat shaky above the knees, but it should pass. 3 white lights.
Barak Berman now of Israel, jumping 15 kilos to 210. Oh, and I believe he locked it out, but dropped it before the down command, so that is unfortunately gonna be a no lift.
Yep, no real surprise there. Even he knew.
Kilos as his second attempt on deadlift, and the bar is loaded.
Benedek Viertel of Hungary, 222.5 on the bar for a 2.5 kilo personal best.
Yeah, a bit of a wobble at the top.
That is unfortunate, 2 blue lights, but unfortunately I think deserved. We'll see on the replay. Wobble at the top and the bar just, I think, moves slightly down.
That kind of technical foul is heartbreaking because you still complete the movement, but not up to competition standards.
Daniel Dahan now, 225 on the bar. The grip unfortunately gives out.
And the grip starting to give up is a worrying sign. How do you recover from that? Because the bar was not overly chalked or overly baby powdered. It's just grip strength that was not there.
Yeah, on the next attempt, maybe you try to grip the bar a little tighter, a little better, but there's honestly not much you can do if the grip is simply not there.
Mm.
Daniel Hampe is now 225 on the bar for the Czech.
That's a
Three white
convincing
lights.
second attempt.
Alejandro Cruz Camilo, 235 on the bar.
The same bounce. That's his ritual, really.
Three white lights, a solid looking second attempt. What's your technical analysis?
I think there's too much friction on the way up. He's very close to the bar. Friction, friction, friction all the way. So it's more difficult than it could be. You need to be very close to your bar, but it needs to be optimized. You don't need to apply pressure with the bar on your shins, on your knees, and on your thighs.
240 kilos for Valtteri Kivimaki.
Did he widen up his frog stance? It looks a bit wider than the first one.
Yeah, I think he did. Still looks good. Three white lights. Yeah, he definitely did widen up his stance. Alfie Bonso now, 242.5.
One big jump, 17 and a half.
And he's definitely still looking good for a couple more kilos. Jumps right up into a second position for the time being, but there is more competitors left to go after him.
Yeah, he's
Trying to
forecasted in
overtake him.
fourth, but he's very close to the podium. As it stands, Carlone is forecasted in first with a 12.5 kg lead, but right behind him it's 603.5, 602.5, 600.5. That's as stacked as it gets.
Daniel Pan Arenas is one of the competitors going for a podium. 245 kilos on the bar for a 5 kilo personal best and a total of 603.5. Not an easy pull, but three white lights. We'll see how much more he has.
I must say, we haven't seen him be very fast all day long, but still very steady and very strong. And it's a sumo pull too. It's slow off the floor and pretty speedy above the knees.
That is true. That is true. We'll see. And we already have a record attempt, a European total record for Gabriele Carlone of Italy, 250 kilos.
He's the sensation of the class, the surprise. From fourth on nominations to attempting a European total record. Gabriele Carlone is a surprise.
Absolutely. If he gets this, is 35 kilos above his nominated total. and he gets it without a problem. 3 white lights and a new European total record. What a show he's giving us, and he's well into the lead, but still not uncatchable. Not
How?
uncatchable. There will be people passing him,
Yeah, I mean,
probably, but
the
he
world
definitely
record
has.
is kind of far. 6:35.5 seems unreachable, but I think he can literally at 10, maybe 12.5 onto his deadlift.
10 would probably be there, and 10 would probably be enough to secure him the top spot in the category. But we have 2 deadlifts remaining here, and something interesting might play out into the final round. Depending on how these 2 deadlifts go, first is Marcos Rodriguez Castro, 255.
Wow.
Very reasonable second attempt. 3 white lights, and the thing that might play out, the European and the World Sub-Junior deadlift record stands at 270.5, which with a solid second attempt at 255, Rodriguez Castro might be in with a shot at it, as might be the final competitor coming out in round 2, who will be Benjamin Aiftum, 262.5. If this moves well, he's most definitely going for the record.
That's a lot of friction again, and you see when you have all that weight on the bar plus some more friction, it takes a toll on your grip.
That is true. That is true. He has a lot of baby powder on his legs, but still a lot of friction. He leans really far back, I think. And unfortunately unsuccessful. We'll see what he tries to do in round 3, but for the time being, we have Rodriguez Castro leading in deadlifts with 255, with Carlona at 250 in second, and Aiftum with 245 in third. In totals, we have Carlone with a pretty sizable lead at 615, Pan Arenas with 603.5 in second, and Bonsal with 600.5 in bronze. Everything subject to change. 2 lifters have put a world record attempt in for the third round, and we're going to be starting off with Max Lee at 205.
We're gonna have an intense battle for both final placings and deadlift medals.
Come on, Max. You can do it. 200 kilos on the bar. Come on, Max.
Get someone stuck at the knees, but powers through it. We'll wait for the lights here. And it's 3 white lights, a good lift for Max.
Yep, no one can take it away from him. 3 white lights. All 3 deadlifts scored for Mr. Lee from Ireland. Ever so close to the 500, but not yet there. 495.
210 kilos.
Akos Schwalm of Hungary, 210 kilos on the bar, be a small personal best in deadlift. Grip holds his 3 white lights and a good lift for his third.
Yeah, he hands on the high note. 517.5, 10th position in the class.
7.5 kilos. Huge personal best if successful.
Now a greedy attempt, Razi, because jumping 7.5 when you missed on grip is kind of surprising.
It is surprising, and he doesn't gain that much from it. He might be overtaken by 1 or 2 competitors. But even if he gets the 210, he would be in a pretty good place to keep
I have a take. I
that
think
attempt.
this is only to overtake his fellow Israeli in the deadlift event. Because Dan has deadlifted 215, he missed 225, so now he's going to 217.5 just for bragging rights.
Maybe going.
It could be.
Could be. Good theory. But let's see if he can make the 217.5 work. Just has to hold on to the bar.
That's proper. 3 white lights.
Bravo! Great third attempt. He overtakes his teammate.
Fatima!
225 on the bar for Daniel Dahan.
You can do this.
So grip was the issue last time around. The 4 red plates in competition for Daniel. And the grip once again.
That is unfortunate.
Is loaded and Benedict Viertel.
230 on the bar for Benedict Viertel of Hungary. Jumping 7.5 from a missed second attempt.
Yeah, I think it was missed for some blues, if I'm correct.
I think you are, yeah.
More speed off the floor will be needed, more momentum for a proper lockout.
And he's grinding
I
through.
think the bar dipped.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah, it's 3 blues this time, and no one can overturn that, unfortunately, for the Hungarian lifter.
And you know what? That was close. Maybe 2.5 less would have sealed the deal.
Definitely, definitely. But also, it feels good to know that you can lift the weight, and you just have to do it
I mean,
in a slightly more tidy way. Definitely better than just missing off the floor.
we're powerlifters at the end of the day. I'm sure he's going to say this was his maximum.
If someone asks at the bar,
That's my PR. I don't know what you mean.
Daniel Hampes of Czechia next, 232.5.
Nice.
Very strong third attempt. And we have our first attempt change coming in.
Who's playing the game and what for? Oh, looks like it's for a deadlift medal.
It's gonna be Alfie Bonsel going for 250 kilos up next for a 608 total provisional silver ranking and a provisional deadlift bronze.
Yeah, by that he's just trying to secure himself onto the podium. He's trying to extend his position and to go from 5th to 3rd in the deadlift event. I'll say that deadlift medal is even more provisional than his podium standings, but both of them are very provisional.
We are gonna see what happens here. He's taking a shot. And unfortunately, that is a no lift for Bonso. He was nominated in first.
Yeah. So, as it stands, he's still on the podium in third position, but is looking to be overlapped by both Aiftum and Rodriguez Castro.
Yeah, things are definitely subject to change, heavy mix-ups. Now for a silver medal provisionally in the deadlift, Alejandro Cruz Camilo, 250 kilos. It's a big fight, but
you could see from the start, his hips were too high up.
yeah, great effort, but unfortunately unsuccessful this time. And
Look at the knees, they were almost already extended. His hips too high up, too much friction, unable to wedge.
Got knee cave on deadlift, just not something you see often.
I mean, he couldn't use his quads with the knees almost being extended, so his body tried to look for some muscle to activate. He went for the adductors, but couldn't wedge properly, couldn't lock out.
That is unfortunate. We have another attempt change. Valtteri Kivimaki will be going for 252.5. This is for deadlift silver medal provisionally.
This is a stacked class. This will go from 6th to 2nd, climbing 4 places with 1 attempt.
Oh, and unfortunately, I think there was a grip issue here. One side went, the other just didn't. Still a great attempt. And someone is feeling reasonably safe.
Yeah, I think it's a proper decision.
Gabriel Carlone is going for 252.5. This should be very much doable for the Italian. We'll give him a 617.5 total.
I think this is just to force Pan Arenas without the reason. 257 is what he's put in to try and surpass Carlone. He'll need to increase this to 260.
Let's see.
He's done his part.
Successful, 617.5.
He extends the European total record
By another 2.5 kilos, and now we'll see. Will Team Sweden go for 260, try and surpass Carlone?
Of course, they're gonna try and do so. Yep, attempt changes came in. 260 for a European total record. Provisional gold in the deadlift event, and guaranteed gold in the class.
Oh, that is a heroic effort from Team Sweden. They are risking being off the podium. It's not a huge risk, but it is a risk.
Yeah, it's very much a risk when you have Aiftum and Rodriguez Castro pulling after. But I mean, when you can go for deadlift gold, overall gold, and a European total record with 1 lift, you need to go for it.
And the crowd is on their feet. Daniel Pan Arenas of Sweden going for 260 kilos. This is to take the European title, extend the European total record. Let's see this. It's going up. Can he lock it out? Whoa!
I think even he is surprised.
That is
European total
lights.
record, deadlift provisional gold, and gold in the class. What was that? Where did that came from? We told you, he was slow in each and every lift, but he was steady, he was strong, and he managed to pull 260 for the lead in the class.
That was something. I was not expecting that.
If I had to bet, I would have said no, I'm gonna be honest. Wow.
Same. But what a performance from the Swede.
What?
He's the European champion. He's the European champion. Eiftum and Rodriguez would have to pull something very, very, very outside their limits to take it away from him at this point.
And talking about outside the limits and what's never been done before, we have two final pulls in the class, both of them being world record attempts.
271 kilos, as you said, for a world record, going for Marcos Rodriguez Castro of España. This is for an overall podium, and for a world deadlift record, and he locks it out. 3 white lights, a good lift. He's on the podium and he's a world record holder. But will it be for a minute or will it be for a competition? And will he be able to keep his place on the podium? We have one deadlift remaining, another world record attempt. 271.5, automatically increased by half a kilo for Benjamin Eiftum of Great Britain. He's going for overall third, deadlift gold, and a new world deadlift record.
What are the odds? Because for Rodriguez Castro, he was perfect in the deadlift event. But Eiftum missed 262.5 last time around on the platform. He's still going all out for the world record.
Well, as you said, if you get the chance, you go for it. He's going all out for the world record. It's a brave decision from Team Britain, and if it works out, they're gonna be laughing.
Can you imagine taking both the podium and the record of Rodriguez? Because Rodriguez has the record and it is on the podium. What? This would create a generational rivalry.
Absolutely.
You take my podium and my record, I'm gonna remember that. Let's see it.
And there it is, one final deadlift of the men's 66 kilo sub-juniors. Benjamin Eiftum of Great Britain going for 271.5 kilos for a world deadlift sub-junior record and for a podium position and deadlift gold over Rodriguez Castro.
Secure the grip, keep pulling. Oh, it's not there on the day.
It is a great effort, but unfortunately too heavy on the day, which means we have Pan Arenas, your European champion, with Carlona in second, and Rodriguez Castro with a heroic deadlift record in third overall. We're gonna see the results here. First, for the deadlift, Rodriguez Castro with 271, a new world deadlift record, takes a deadlift gold, with Pan Arenas with a heroic pull for the title and deadlift silver, and Gabriel Carlone with 252.5 in deadlift bronze. As I said probably 3 or 4 times already, Daniel Pan Arenas with an absolutely mad pull in the third round with 618.5, your European champion in the 66 kilo category, with Gabriel Carlone a kilo behind in silver, and Marcos Rodriguez Castro with the deadlift record at 603.5 in overall bronze. Stay with us, we have another couple fights to decide in the Special Olympics division. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be intense, it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
15 lifts remaining for today.
What a first day. And it's not even done yet. If we need to maintain that kind of energy for 10 days, we're gonna need a lot of sleep when we get back home. What a championship, what a way to start.
Absolutely an amazing start to the championship, and these next 15 lifts are, I have no doubt, will be amazing. Pavlo cost 75 kilos for Ukraine.
Nice. He made the effort to lock out.
And quite a lockout it was. 3 white lights for Ukraine.
Even the jury is clapping for that effort at lockout.
Was struggling there for a good 4 or 5 seconds.
Never gave up. Just never gave up.
That is the important thing. 80 kilos now on the bar for Mikita Bilos.
Do I say it? Yeah, lightweight, baby.
Lightweight baby. A great first attempt for Bilos. He secures the total and he's your 66 kilo champion here. But not everything is decided yet. We are moving on into the 83s with Mangirdas Danielis of Lithuania, 110 kilos. He is in a close battle with his teammate Biliunas for the victory in the 83s.
That's one toast to plate sumo. Watch
Oh,
out.
That is one very quick sumo pull. It's a 2-to-1 good lift. $120 kilos on the bar now for Aldas Laurinas. With this, he'll be pulling way into the lead in the 74 kilo category. Three white lights, and I think he might be the favorite to win here in the 74s. $120 kilos on the bar for one final opening attempt for Jonas Biliunas.
He secures the attempt, but this does not secure anything in the class yet.
Three white lights, and he's gonna need some big jumps to match Danielis. Super wide strongman style of pull. Maybe learning
The man
from,
is strong indeed.
yeah, maybe learning from Zydrunas Saviskas in the back on the SBD stand.
Yeah, that's quite a name to sell you a t-shirt.
Have to buy one, you know.
Or face consequences. Yeah, once again, that same exact minute rolling for to get some rest. It is mandatory. We need to follow the rulebook. I mean, 20 seconds is long to wait when you want to compete, when you want to pull the ball, when you're getting excited, amped up, when you feel the adrenaline rushing in your body. And that's what these lifters feel too.
Yeah. Let's see if they can gather up the energy, gather up the adrenaline in this second round. 80 kilos are on the bar, or will be on the bar, for Pavlo Kost of Ukraine. The bar is loaded and he's out. He's ready.
He learned his lesson from the first attempt.
Yeah, locks out a lot quicker this time. Almost as a Romanian deadlift, but since it's a sumo position,
It's a Ukrainian deadlift.
my guy just invented a new type of exercise. 85 kilos on the bar for Mikita Bilos. Three white lights, another solid attempt secured. 5 kilos personal best in the deadlift.
He might be my pick for a training partner. It looks like a vibe, just enjoying the competition.
And now we return to the battle of the 83s. Mangirdas Danielis, 130 kilos, a 20 kilo jump.
And it's still moving fast.
He makes it look extremely easy. It's a 2-to-1 good lift. And he's throwing the gauntlet to his teammate Biliunas.
Yeah, but both are making 20 kilo jumps.
Next up will be Aldas Laurinas, the Lithuanian. He is pretty much safe in the lead in the 74 kilo category. Still very easy, 20 kilo jump, still very easy. Jonas
That's a
Biliunas,
strongman pull from him.
140, still makes it look easy.
Who's your pick in the 83 battle, Razi?
That's an interesting question. Biliunas does have the bodyweight advantage and has been closing up rapidly. We'll have to see. Oh, he's leading at the moment, but there's a 30 kilo jump in the books for Danielis.
Oh, he's not going for it.
150, but if Danielis misses the 30 kilo jump,
He could have
Biliunas
gone for
takes it.
25. They would have been matched on total and separated on body weight, which would have been an interesting thing to see.
Absolutely. We are going into the final round. The additional minute is over and 85 kilos are being loaded on the bar for Pavlo Kost. And of course, as per protocol, the bar has to be cleaned before every final deadlift attempt. And the clock starts ticking down for Pavlo Kost, 85 kilos for another deadlift personal best.
Who needs a slack pull when you're just that strong?
Who needs anything but hamstrings for deadlifting? That is great showcase of power there.
That was his best lockout so far too.
Yep, just getting better and better. $87.5 on the bar for Mikita Bilos. Another personal best. And another 3 white lights. And another celebration. Three lifts remaining, and we will decide our winner in the 83 kilo class. Jonas Biliunas will be first out, going for 150 kilos.
Great
Still
final
makes
pull.
it look solid. 3 white lights. He finishes at a 315 kilo total.
Yeah, he extends his lead, but we've got someone that's going for a 30-kilo jump to retake the lead by quite the margin.
Two deadlifts remaining. That will decide it all. Mangirdas Danielis. We're going for a 30 kilo jump, a 30 kilo personal best, 160 kilos to take the win in the 83 kilo category. Let's see it. And still makes it look easy. But that is unfortunately a no lift. He drops the bar at the top.
Yeah, you need to keep the bar into your hands. Do not drop it from high above, or otherwise it's pretty clear to see.
That is really unfortunate. He had it. He had it. But that means Biliunas will be walking home the 83 kilo champion. And we have one final deadlift remaining, the heaviest deadlift, the heaviest lift of the entire Special Olympics division, 165 kilos for Aldas Laurinas.
One final big pull to cross the 300.
And it is a great effort, super clean lift, 3 white lights, and what a finish, 312.5 in the total. And there we have the results in the 66 kilo class. Nikita Bilus takes the win with 232.5 in the 74s in a dominant fashion with 312.5. Aldas Laurinas takes the win, and in a tight battle coming down to the last deadlift, Jonas Biliunas takes the victory in the 83 kilo class with 315 kilos.
Yep, it was very undecided until the last and final deadlift. What a day this was.
This was a very exciting start to the competition. We'll be heading into the medal ceremony, and you can stay for that. Then join us again tomorrow at 10 a.m. for more powerlifting. It's going to be the sub-junior 57 and 63 kilo women. In the evening, it's going to be the 69 and 76 kilo sub-junior women. Another exciting day. We'll see you then.
Gabriele Carone from Italy. Alfie Watson claims the silver medal of 280 kilos. And squad goes to Daniel Mann from Sweden with 251 kilos. Thank you guys. On bench press, third place goes to Benjamin Alatou from Great Britain with 155 kilos. Bench press silver goes to Leandro Camilo Luz from Spain with 147.5 kilos. And the bench press gold goes to Gabriele Carone from Italy with 142.5 kilos. Thank you guys. Now to deadlift. Gabriele Carone from Italy claims the third place with 252.5 kilos. Second place goes to Daniel Mann from Sweden with 260 kilos. And first place goes to Marcos Rodriguez from Spain. Thank you guys. And now total bronze goes to Marcos Rodriguez from Spain with 603 kilos. first place goes to Jonas Bulnas from Lithuania, who also scored 100 kilos. Thank you. We're going to move to bench press. Bench press silver goes to Jonas Bulnas from Lithuania, who bench 65 kilos. Thank you. And we move to deadlift. In second place ended up Andreas Danilis from Lithuania, who pulled 130 kilos. And the first place goes to Jonas Bulnas from Lithuania, with 150 kilos. Thank you, and we move to total. Magnus Danilis from Lithuania is in second place with 300 kilos lifted in total. And the new European champion in this category will be Jonas Bulnas from Lithuania with 315 kilos. Yes. Just a moment, and I'll ask first everyone here, please stand up for the national anthem of Lithuania. Thank you.